Hi, good morning, third graders. It's me again, Mrs. McAllen. I am going to be reading the last chapter of our book, She Dared, the story of Bethany Hamilton, and I'm going to be reading it on my front porch. So, this last chapter is titled Always Fearless. So, they're talking about Bethany Hamilton being always fearless, not having fear, fearless. Okay? And where Mrs. Taylor left off, Bethany was competing in nationals, so we're going to see how things turned out for her. Okay? Nationals was over, but did Bethany win? Not this time. Carissa was the best that day. Bethany came in fifth. Naturally, Bethany was upset, but it was okay. When she first set her goal of standing at the top of the podium, she had two arms. With only one, no one had expected her to surf again. But Bethany and Stumpy had. She'd done her best and became one of only 6 girls who surfed all 6 rounds at nationals. She also remembered her dad's words from the first time she surfed after the attack. "Bethany," he had said, "I'm sure you can do whatever you put your mind to." So Bethany would keep training. She still had her mindset on winning nationals. And the next year, 15-year-old Bethany was the best that day in the under-18 surf championships. She did it. She won, beating second place by nearly 4 points. Maybe it took longer than she wanted, but Bethany fearlessly earned the title champion. And that other goal she had for herself, becoming a professional surfer, Bethany achieved that 2 years later. But Bethany didn't stop there. The thing with dreams is that they can come in many forms, and as Bethany grew, her dreams grew with her. At one time, Bethany was that shark attack victim, but she didn't stay a victim for long. Bethany has proven she's much more than that. Role model. After Bethany's shark attack, she didn't feel like a role model, but others certainly saw her that way. And during the 2014 Choice Awards, 14-year-old Bethany took the stage to accept a Special Courage Award in front of an energetic crowd. Bethany has always put her good heart to work, helping and inspiring others. At 15, she traveled to Thailand after the country was ravaged by a tsunami, where earthquakes under the sea caused a 100-foot wave to hit the shoreline. There, she participated in a surfing exhibition and shared her story of how she overcame tragedy, along with encouraging kids to face their fears and get back in the water, as Bethany had done when she was 13. TV and film star. Along with television interviews, Bethany spent some time in front of the camera in other ways. At 17 years old, she put on her producer hat as she told her story in the documentary Heart of a Soul Surfer. Of course, the documentary about Bethany had a star, Bethany, and she did a handful of other films and television programs as well. 13-year-old Bethany played herself in various television series, such as Switched, then at 24 years old in films like Dolphin Tale 2. She was also a contestant at age 24 on the reality television competition show The Amazing Race. In the 2011 film Soul Surfer, starring Anna Sophia Robb as Bethany, Bethany herself hit the waves to perform the surf stunts. Bethany's latest film appearance was in the 2018 documentary Unstoppable. And that was the link that was shared with you in last week's newsletter, that you can get Unstoppable on Netflix right now. Author. Another way Bethany has told her story is through books, beginning with her best-selling autobiography Soul Surfer. She's also written numerous spiritual devotional books, as well as books about living a healthy life, and a book in which she answers questions from her fans. Mother and wife. At 23 years old, Bethany put on a white dress, clipped a white veil and white flowers in her hair, and said "I do" to Adam Dirks, a youth minister. Less than 2 years later, Bethany and Adam welcomed their first child, Tobias, whom Bethany has called her surfing baby. Bethany and Adam welcomed their second child, Wesley, in 2018. Athlete. At 24 years old, Bethany earned the title Favorite Comeback Athlete by the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards After winning multiple surfing competitions such as the O'Neill Island Girl Junior Pro Tournament and the Surf and Sea Pipeline Women's Pro. It's an accomplishment for any surfer to be ranked in the top 20 in the world, and Bethany held a spot in the top 20 for a few years without being given any slack from her fellow competitors or the judges. If anyone were to offer Bethany favors, she'd politely refuse them. She wanted to compete fairly and has all over the world in places including Australia, Nicaragua, Indonesia, Western Samoa, France, Portugal, Spain, Thailand, England, Japan, Mexico, Fiji, Tahiti, Peru, the Maldives, Brazil, and more. All of Bethany's hard work and dedication to surfing paid off. At 27 years old, Bethany was inducted into the Surfers Hall of Fame. As part of the honor, on the cement in front of the Duke statue at Huntington Beach, California, Bethany left impressions of her feet and right hand and wrote the message to always hope. While surfing is Bethany's passion, she's also taken to a board in different ways. For example, she's added professional wake surfer to her resume, riding the currents behind a boat as a wakeboarder. And at 25, Bethany got behind a boat in a whole new way. Well, technically behind a jet ski. With waves over 30 feet high, it's hard for any athlete to paddle fast enough to catch them. So when Bethany had her eye on a 50-foot wave known as Jaws, she had the help of a jet ski to get into position to catch the wave. Already standing on her board, she held onto a cord and was towed behind the jet ski. When in position, she let go and surfed a wave so big it took her nearly 30 seconds to ride it. Afterward, Bethany proclaimed, "I just got the heaviest, biggest wave of my life so far." And that, boys and girls, is the end of our book, She Dared, the biography of Bethany Hamilton. So, as you think about this book and all the pages within it, what would you say the theme of this book is? I bet you guys can figure that out if you haven't done it already. Probably has something to do with chasing your dreams or working hard to accomplish something that you really want, or better yet, never giving up. If you put your mind to something that you really want, so something you really want to accomplish, then you can do it. So remember that in life, boys and girls, especially during this really hard time, right? Put our mind to things that we can't control, but if we keep working through them, we're going to come out for the better on the other side. Okay, take care, everybody. Love and miss ya. Bye-bye.